You're watching Draw Western Theater here on WBON TV, Channel 9. Let's go, boys. Welcome to Draw Western Theater, where today we're going to be looking at the Lone Ranger Clayton Moore. And I want to welcome a nice little cute lady to the store, or to our shop, to our game. Sorry, she got me fuddled.
No, Bob, don't get Twitter baited.
I know I got a pretty face, but you don't need to, exhaust yourself.
What's your name, little lady?
First off, I need no lady.
Fine, well, excuse me. Now, what's your name then?
Morgan Murray.
Morgan Mary?
No, Morgan Murray.
That's what I said, Mary.
No, my name is Morgan Bloody Murray.
Bloody Murray? Bloody Mary? What? I don't understand what's going on.
Just stick with Morgan.
Anyway, fine. Morgan, we got rules here. You two Rangers should know. Guns on the table.
Hey, fair enough.
Let us slide.
So you were saying we're talking about the Lone Ranger today?
Yeah, we are. Looks like something's going on here with those guns, too. Gotta keep my eye on them. We're talking about the Lone Ranger, Clayton Moore. What was Clayton Moore's first real name?
Jack Carlton Moore.
So
He kept his last
He's
name.
been a B-movie star.
Yeah.
He played in Zorro.
I know, he went two iconic characters. Zorro, which was basically where the Lone Ranger got his inspiration.
Yeah.
And
Franz Stryker. That's
The American Zorro.
basically he's the American Zorro, yeah. Though many will argue that he passed Zorro in popularity.
I'd say that's right.
I actually agree with that.
I actually agree with that. Well, somebody agrees with me for a change. Too bad Wardell's not here to see that.
No, don't get used to that. Don't get used to it.
Something kind of interesting about Moore. Did y'all know when he was a child, he worked for a circus as a trapeze artist?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It makes it more interesting for the show. So when he's doing all those horse tricks and everything, he's doing everything.
So he didn't need a
Yeah.
stuntman.
No. He didn't have stuntmen, I don't think.
You know, it's funny. How did he end up with that pure white hat?
He bleached.
But how? Do you know?
I believe it was Tonto who actually took the hat, washed it clean, let it bleach dry in the sun.
Exactly. Tonto took the hat. He recognized, what did he recognize on the Lone Ranger?
So they were friends from childhood.
Yeah, but what caused him to realize that he was friends
The
with Tonto?
necklace.
The necklace.
He was wearing a necklace
Which
because
was a ring that Tonto had given him when he saved Tonto's life. So basically, they were different than a lot. They were equal partners, which was rare for a Native American and Caucasian in those kind of days.
Well, Franz Stryker insisted that it be a Native American that played Tonto.
Well, Lone Ranger was kind of a twist between two movies, Zorro and Robin Hood.
True. Robin Hood, Lone Ranger, Zorro. Seems like there's a lot of heroes involved in here.
This it's pretty much math. Zorro plus Robin Hood equals Lone Ranger.
Okay. One way to look
Good
at it.
point there.
Yeah, he's got a good point. Speaking of Tonto, we got a little nice figure of him right here. Who played Tonto? Anybody know the actor's
Jay
name?
Silverhill.
Jay Silverheels. Where was he from, though?
Toronto.
Canada.
Canada.
No. Tonto speaks
Canada?
Esperanto.
Oh, Canada.
He's from Toronto.
I need to translate
You're
it.
wrong about that.
Don't look at me.
He speaks Esperanto, and he is from Toronto. And his name is Tonto.
We'll talk more about it in the next segment here on Draw Western Theater.
I drink to that.
Anybody, I'll drink anything.
There you go, Bob.
I'm sure you brought your own.
Well, I know it's clean.
Well, I mean, she brought her own bottle.
The Lone Ranger. Hi-yo, Silver! A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-yo, Silver. The Lone Ranger.
This is a story of one of the most mysterious characters to appear in the early days of the West. He was a fabulous individual, a man whose presence brought fear to the lawless and hope to those who wanted to make this frontier land their home. He was known as the Lone Ranger. These rich rangelands are part of the Circle K Ranch, owner Sam Kittredge, biggest, most prosperous ranch in Mesa County. And more than any other man, old Banty Bishop, Sam's foreman for 40 years, has helped to keep it that way. But now that Sam is dead, and his young, inexperienced son, Bob Kittredge, is returning from the East to take charge, there are ambitious men, ruthless men who would stop at nothing to gain the Circle K for their own greedy ends.
Why, you dead blasted varmints, I'll give you your money's worth of trouble. Take it easy, Pat. The next one will have your name on it. Pull him up, Pop.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Mr. Devers, and thanks for all the advice. I've been living in the East so long, I feel like a regular tenderfoot.
You'll learn fast, Mr. Kittredge. Like I said, if you ever need a good foreman, just ask for Red Devers.
Well, thanks, but I'm afraid the Circle K could never get along without old Banty Bishop. Wonder where he is. He was supposed to meet me here. Oh, here he comes.
Kittredge. Well, how are you, boy?
Oh, Sandy. How's everything at the Circle K?
Well, sir, it's all snarled up, Mr. Bob. That's why I'm late. We got to form a posse.
Posse, what's wrong?
Because I was held up by some white-livered, chicken-hearted, sneak-thieving bandits, and they got away with the ranch payroll.
I don't mean to butt in, mister, but this old geezer's lying to you. Me and my partner both seen him this morning burying something in the sand behind your barn. Looked an awful lot like a chest to us.
Why, you ornery critter, he's lying to you, Mr. Bob. I ain't never buried no chest.
Of course you didn't. Bandy wouldn't steal money from me. It's easy enough to find out who's lying. Just go dig behind your barn.
Maybe you should, Mr. Kittredge. In all fairness to Bandy here, he looks like an honest man. He should be given a chance to prove it.
Well, there it is, right where we saw him bury it.
Why, this just ain't true. Mr. Bob, I tell you, I didn't put it there. It must have been one of them three bandits.
That doesn't make sense, old-timer. Never heard of bandits would rob a man and then bury the money in his boss's property.
You don't think I done it, do you, Mr. Bob?
Well, what else can I think? As Red says, your story just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry it has to end this way, Banny.
Well, you mean that I'm through with the Circle K?
Oh, don't worry. I won't prosecute you. We've got the money back. But I do want you off this ranch by sundown.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it, I'll get off right now. But I want to tell you something, son. You ain't the Kittredge that your pa was. If you was, well, you know there's some trick to this. You...
Well, Red, if you still want that job as foreman, I guess it's yours.
Thanks, Mr. Kittredge. You won't be sorry.
Well, come and load the ranch house, Red, and I'll sign you up.
All right, Mr. Kittredge.
For sale, Circle K Ranch. Interested party, see Red Devers, foreman. Red Devers. Unless I'm mistaken, Tonto, we've caught up with our old enemy at last.
Me think you right, Kimosabe. Him use different names, but him always break law in the same old way.
The Circle K Ranch. Why, that's one of the finest in this county. No man in his right mind would want to sell it unless he were forced to.
Plenty strange. Ranch never for sale till Red Devers become foreman.
Not so strange, Tonto. It's no accident that every time Red Devers becomes foreman of a ranch, it's put up for sale a few weeks later.
Maybe owner of Circle K outsmart Red Devers.
I'm afraid not. Young Bob Kittredge is a tenderfoot in these parts. Tear off the sign. I think we'd better investigate. Oh, Silver.
Oh, Scout. We camp here, Kimosabe?
No, Tonto. I think I heard something. Listen.
Sound come from over there.
We'd better take a look. On, Silver.
And drinking and wound up in gambling. Got shot in the back, and now I must die. Trouble, trouble, nothing but trouble. Well, you can't get a cent out of me, stranger, 'cause I'm broke. No job, and I'm through.
We're not going to harm you, old-timer. You certainly look down on your luck. I'd like to help you if you'd let us.
I ain't worth helping. I tell you, I'm all washed up.
No, you're not. Nobody's ever washed up if they don't want to be. Come on. Sit down and take it easy.
Much obliged.
Mind if we pitch camp here?
Why, no, not at all. Just take off your gear and make yourself at home. Hey, you know something? I kind of like you, mister. Mask or no mask. I like them fellow with you, too.
Oh, Silver. Oh, boy.
Play the drum, holy.
Feeling better, old-timer?
Yeah, bet your life. You know, funny thing, you fill a man's belly full of grub and victuals instead of spirits. Makes a heap of difference, don't it?
Tell me more about this Red Devers, Bandy.
Well, Why are you so interested, stranger?
Because I know he's the leader of a gang of outlaws Tonto and I have been after for a long time. They've been moving in on gullible ranchers all across the country, beating them up and swindling them out of their property.
By George, that wouldn't surprise me a bit. You know, ever since this fella Red Devers took over my job as foreman of the Circle K, he fired all the old hands on the ranch, and then he fetched in his own fellas to replace them. And now he won't let no one near the place, just the same as if he was holding poor Mr. Bob a prisoner.
Poor Mr. Bob?
Yeah.
Thought you didn't care what happened to the Circle K anymore. Thought you disliked Bob Kittredge.
I do. And anything that this Red Devers and his gang does to him, he deserves it.
Even if they force him to sell his ranch?
What, sell the Circle K? Oh, Mr. Bob wouldn't do a thing like that. No, sir.
Him do that. We find sign like this posted around town.
Let me see. For sale, Circle K Ranch. Interested parties see Red Devers, foreman. Well, what are we going to do? Why, it just wouldn't be right for anyone else to own that there Circle K ranch except the Kittredge.
Now, nobody welcome there but ranch buyers, me find out.
In that case, we'll just have to get interested in buying a ranch. Not too much gray hair, Tonto. This disguise has got to look good enough to fool everybody.
When me finish, Kimosabe, even old Banty not recognize you.
Just so Devers doesn't recognize me, that's what counts. Remember, he's no fool.
How you get to Circle K Ranch, Kimosabe? Silver not look like horse old man would ride.
You're right, Tonto. I'll need a wagon of some kind. Something to fit this disguise. I'll have to wear some other clothes.
Me ride into town. Get them for you.
Tonto, be sure that you don't arouse any suspicion.
There, me finish. Lone Ranger all hidden.
You wouldn't take a pot shot at a half-blind old man now, would you? I just come to see about this here ranch for sale. You wouldn't take a pot shot at a half-blind old man now, would you? I just came here to see about buying this ranch.
You don't look like you've got money to buy a ranch.
Oh, it isn't for me. You see, I'm representing one of the biggest ranch owners in Boone County.
Okay, Grandpa. Come on in. We'll let the boss talk to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Devers, I reckon we just about made a deal.
You can tell your boss he won't be sorry. The Circle K's a fine property. I'd sure like to know who you're acting as agent for.
Well, you see, Mr. Devers, my boss wants his name kept out of the deal. Of course, if you aren't satisfied doing business through his agent...
Now, don't get me wrong, Grandpa. I don't care what his name is, just so his money's good.
Well, I reckon that's about all. Yep. Guess I better be going now. Oh, say, plumb near forgot. Mr. Kittredge hasn't said it's a deal yet.
You don't have to worry about him. He'll find the terms satisfactory.
How do I know he will? He hasn't even heard 'em. Nope. Can't go back to my boss and tell him this deal's settled till Mr. Kittredge himself has said so.
Okay, Grandpa. I'll see if I can get him. Hasn't been feeling so good lately. Had an accident. Bruised himself up considerable.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Not again, Devers. Don't beat me up again.
That's just so you'll pay attention and do exactly what I tell you. Now listen. There's a buyer outside. We're going out to see him. You tell him you want to sell the ranch.
Poor Mr. Kittredge. He sure sounds mighty sick.
Here's Mr. Kittredge for you. Poor boy don't feel much like talking.
Sorry to see you looking so poor, Mr. Kittredge.
I told him about your offer, and he agrees to all the terms.
That, correct, Mr. Kittredge? Them terms satisfactory?
What? Oh, yes, I agree.
Sure you won't change your mind now?
No, take the ranch. I don't care what the terms are. Any old price. I just want to get rid of it.
Poor boy. He just wasn't cut out to be a rancher. Well, you satisfied?
Yep. I reckon I found out everything I need to know.
When'll he be back with the money?
Let's say 4 days from now. My boss will bring it himself.
Your boss? I thought he wanted to keep his identity a secret.
He does. That's why he'll be wearing a mask.
A mask?
Won't scare you none now, will it?
He can wear whatever he wants to, just so he's got the money with him.
He'll be here. Goodbye.
Easy, big fellow. We'll be heading back to camp as soon as I get rid of these clothes and the whiskers.
How about Mr. Bob? Did you see him?
I saw him all right, what was left of him. They've been beating the poor kid up.
Beating him up? And you left him there?
Don't worry, Betty. They have to keep him in good enough health to sign the bill of sale. That'll give us time to get some help and go after those outlaws.
Where are we going to get any help? Why, every rancher in this country is scared of that there Red Devers and his gang.
Then we'll have to find some men who aren't scared. Are you, Batty?
Me? Not by a jugful.
What about the other old-timers who used to work for the Circle K? Would they be scared?
They're not scared of nothing.
Think you could have them here in 4 days?
Could I? I'll fetch you a whole legion of them.
Legion of old-timers.
It no work, Kemosabe. Old-timers no match for young, tough hombres like Devers' men.
I know it, Tonto. But it's our only chance. Somehow you and I have to find a way to help those old-timers win.
Here, Whiskey, Polecat. Come on, get on your horses, you lazy galoot. We're heading for the Circle K. Come on! Get out of that tub if you want your job back at the Circle K. I'm not coming. Hey, Curly, Pee-wee, follow us. That Circle K needs you.
How does everyone understand exactly what he's to do? Remember, young Bob's life is at stake. If Devers suspects anything before I get into the ranch house, he'll kill Bob at the drop of a hat. Give Tonto and me 10 minutes head start. Then you know what to do.
Here he comes now. Right on time.
Yeah, I'm wearing a mask. Just like that old coot said he would. Got an Indian with him, too.
Howdy, men. Howdy. Come along, stranger. You're expected. Go on in. The boss is waiting.
Tonto, you wait here. I'll take care of this business as fast as I can.
Me understand, Kemosabe.
You're right on time, friend. Mr. Kittredge here's got out of a sick bed just so we could sign the bill of sale. Come on, boss. Let's make it legal.
Oh, you don't bounce.
Say, what is this?
Post the gun, quick. Now, look here, Injun. They got nothing against you. Drop gun. Now, sit down.
Think you got me, don't you? But you haven't. That shot I fired, my man heard it. They'll be covering this house. You'll never get out alive.
Kemosabe! Kemosabe, you all right?
Like I said, there's not one of you'll get out of here alive.
Don't be too sure of that, Devers. You ever hear of the Legion of Old Timers?
Those old has-beens, they're no match for my boys.
It's not strength that counts, Devers. It's courage. Tonto, aim for their guns. We'll even up this fight.
Hey, let go of me. Why, you ornery whelp.
Looks like Bandy needs some help. Bob, can you take care of Devers?
You bet I can.
We won't spoil their fun, Tonto. We'll give them a helping hand without letting them know it. Out the back way.
I reckon you fellas misjudged my strength, didn't you? Yeah, you call me old. Yippee! Where's the rest of them ornery coyotes?
Well, I guess I don't know my own fighting ability.
All right, men, reach high. Bandy, put them over there with the others and tie them up.
It'll be a pleasure. These dad-blasted ornery critters. We sure showed them, didn't we? Come on, you get going. Come on, hurry up there. You two, that means you. Go on, get on there. Dad, blame your hide. Mr. Devers, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Hey, Mr. Catchman, hold it. Hey, Mr. Bob! Bob! Well, Mr. Bob, we got those hombres all rounded up. You got any orders for the day?
No, Banny, you give the orders. I'm not worthy to. I just wish there was some way I could reward you all.
Oh, 'tis rewards we want. We want just good old plain honest work.
Well, if that's all you want, you've got jobs the rest of your lives. That goes for the masked man and the Indian, too, if they want them.
Oh, those two fellers? Well, I'm afraid that they got more important things to do. Say, wait a minute. Haven't you ever heard of the Lone Ranger?
The Lone Ranger?
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
Oh, look who else showed up. Nice seeing you, Wardell.
Seems like you guys got a seat here. You mind if I sit down?
Where'd Ranger go?
Yeah, let's glad we got rid of Ranger. Let's put it that way. I
Well,
think,
you're glad because you're an outlaw.
yeah, I think somebody else might be too. She may have my number on that. Let's put it that way.
Well, he has papers.
True.
It's more than you all know with that one thing.
I can imagine that. What'd you bring for us, Wardell?
Well, since you guys have been talking about the Lone Ranger, I brought this bullet that that Clayton Moore actually gave to a fan on stage in 1954, and that the Draw Western Theater family has purchased from them.
You telling me we've got a real, authentic Lone Ranger silver bullet?
Yes.
That was actually handed by the Lone Ranger. Wow, that's something that's rare.
He even went into stores handing these out. But do you know what that bullet means? It means the value of life. How much worth is
Make sure it stays at the table.
The value of life and how much life is worth.
Actually, that's my.
Okay. Well, you know what the story is where he got the silver bullet from. That's a kind of interesting story into that. After he was wounded and he became the Lone Ranger, he went to his friends who they had a silver mine. And they went to it, and what happened when the Lone Ranger went to the mine?
He explained that it was him and his brother who found a place and actually built a shelter around the area.
Yeah.
And that was an opportunity for the Lone Ranger to want to create bullets made of silver. And that silver would represented something very special.
Exactly. He represented, the silver bullet represented what his creed was. And he never killed anybody.
Yes. The bullet meant how much life is valued and worth.
Exactly. By using a precious metal, he made life precious, which is why he didn't kill.
Because he didn't want to use his silver.
Yeah, that'd be one way. I wouldn't want to shoot anybody either. If I had a silver bullet, I'm going to say, no, sorry. So, Wardell, since you're here, do you want to deal us in this time? I don't think they trust me too well.
Let me see if I can.
Does anybody?
Let's see if I can deal us in a winner here.
I've always had fun making deals with the devil.
In my case, you definitely would be doing that. Everybody get their money in. What are we playing?
5-card draw.
5-card draw.
5-card draw. I have a gun right here.
Yeah, put it away. I'll be drawing on you and mine's right here.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
This is a story of one of the most mysterious characters to appear in the early days of the West. He was a fabulous individual. A man whose presence brought fear to the lawless and hope to those who wanted to make this frontier land their home. He was known as the Lone Ranger. For weeks now, the Lone Ranger and his faithful Indian companion Tonto have been pursuing the vicious Pete Madden gang. Wanted for cattle rustling by every sheriff west of the Mississippi, these desperate outlaws have left a trail of robbery, destruction, and murder. At long last, their leader, Pete Madden himself, has finally been captured by the angry ranchers. But at what a heavy cost. For the Madden gang has already struck back ruthlessly by abducting young Jim Patrick, son of one of the ranchers, to hold as a hostage for their vicious leader. Every rancher in the country is up in arms. Every rancher, that is, but two newcomers to this part of the West. Fred Vance and his wife, Mary.
We can't stop here, Mary. We're not far enough away from the last place.
Oh, Fred, it's such beautiful country. And look, there's a perfect spot to build our new home. We could risk it. We've got to stop running away sometime. Please.
Well, it is beautiful country, and I heard that the land was for sale. But you know what it means if the neighbors find out who I am?
Well, we could always change our name.
No, Mary. I'm proud of my name. I've done nothing to make us ashamed of it. It stays the same, no matter where we settle, no matter what the consequences. Now, do you still want to build here, or do we move on?
I want to build here, Fred.
All right, Mrs. Vance. This is where we set up housekeeping. And we start right now.
Oh, our new home site. I'm going to love it here, Fred.
Tonto, we found the Madden gang's hideout at last.
Me not understand, Kimosabe. All tracks of Madden gang lead out of hideout, not into it.
That can mean only one thing. Madden and his gang are out on another raid. Most likely in the next county where Tom Patrick and his ranchers are so stirred up against him.
We follow tracks, Kimosabe?
I don't think we'll have to, Tonto. This hideout is Madden's stronghold. Whatever he's up to, he's almost sure to return here. I'll keep watching those rocks up yonder. You scout around. Make sure those tracks do lead toward the next county. I'll meet you at our camp in the morning.
Me be waiting, Kimosabe.
You must be done in, Fred. Never saw you work so hard. Why don't you take a rest?
Got no time for rest. I'm building more than a home. I'm building a fort. This time, nobody will drive us away.
Who'd drive us away from here, Fred? No one knows it.
Nobody knew us the last 4 places we tried to settle either. Look, Mary, we bought this land fair and honest. Used up almost all of our money to do it. Got just enough to buy a few cows and register a brand. We're here for keeps. And I'll fight anybody who says different.
Before you fight them, Fred, let's try to be friends with them, shall we?
We'll see.
Howdy, neighbor. Howdy, ma'am. My name's Patrick, Tom Patrick.
We're glad you came a-calling, Mr. Patrick.
I'm afraid this isn't a social call, ma'am.
No? What's on your mind, Patrick?
You look as though you'd be right handy toting a gun.
I can use one when I have to.
Did you ever hear of the Madden Gang?
Madden Gang? Well, they used to operate in the county where I had a ranch before. Gave us plenty trouble.
I reckon you won't mind coming along then and helping the rest of us ranchers track them down. We've got Madden in jail, but his gang is holding my boy Jim as hostage.
Mister, it'd be a pleasure to ride after those hombres.
We're meeting at my place in town in 3 hours. See, I don't think I got your name.
Vance. Fred Vance. And this is...
Vance?
That's right.
Why, you're nothing but a dirty outlaw yourself. You spent a year in jail for rustling.
That's a lie. I'm no rustler.
The law says different. I got a list of every rustler let out of jail in the past year, and your name's right at the top.
He was innocent, Mr. Patrick. It was Madden's men who pulled that raid.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I got no proof of that. And if you don't want us to round you up with the rest of the Madden gang, you better get off of this land pronto.
Let him try to run us off. Just let him try.
Me follow trail till dark, Kimosabe. See no sign of Madden Gang. Come back here to camp.
I had better luck than you, Tonto.
You mean you find out something last night?
Yes, all we need to know.
Them come back to hideout?
Right after midnight. I couldn't see much because it was so dark, but I heard plenty.
Them off on another raid?
Yes, only this time it didn't come off so well. Tom Patrick and his ranchers managed to capture Madden. That leaves the gang without their leader.
That's plenty good news.
There's some bad news, too. The gang is holding Tom Patrick's son, Jim, as hostage. I would have tried to rescue him, but it was too dark.
You and me go back, get him now?
No, Tonto. The boy's safe enough for a while. But if his father and those ranchers come after him in a body, they'll ride into an ambush.
You think it better we ride to town first, see Tom Patrick?
If we don't, a lot more lives may be endangered. Tom's a brave man, but sometimes a little foolhardy. We'd better hurry, Tonto. There's no time to lose.
And I found this stuck in the door an hour ago. If Madden isn't free by noon Wednesday, your kid will die. Well, now we know their next move.
What are you going to do, Tom? The posse's raring to go as soon as you give the word.
If we only knew where their hideout was. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Those outlaws play for keeps. If we don't let Madden go, they'll kill Jim for sure.
You'll have to find their hideout before they can kill him.
You mean we're not letting Madden go? You'd risk Jim's life?
Don't get me wrong, Joe. I love my kid. But there's something more than just his life at stake. Madden is the brains of his gang. If we let him loose to lead them again, hundreds of innocent people will die. Now, we've got to find his gang without releasing him.
I think I can help you, friends. You don't need guns. I'm on your side.
Who are you and what do you want here?
The same thing you do. The Madden Gang.
A lawman, eh? Then why the mask?
Have you ever seen one of these before?
A silver bullet. But there's only one man who wears a mask and fires a silver bullet, and he's...
Then you know me, Tom.
I sure do, stranger. And I've heard a lot of good things about you, too.
Tonto and I have been riding hard to get here. I've got news about the Madden gang. You see, we've been on their trail for quite a while.
Yes?
We've located the gang and your son in a hideout, about 2 days' ride from here.
Your son prisoner near Redstone Pass.
Redstone Pass? I know that area. You heard that, boys? Let's get going.
Wait, Tom. A large posse wouldn't have a chance of taking them by surprise there.
Him right. Maybe 2-3 men, but not big group.
Tom, you'd better forget your men. Let me handle this.
I'm sorry, friend, but this is our fight, and it stands to reason that 10 men would have a better chance against them than just 1 or 2. Let's go, boys.
What about that cattle rustling Fred Vance? Do we go after him, too?
You bet we do. Soon as we take care of the Madden gang.
What we do now, Kemosabe?
We've got to find a way of stopping those ranchers from riding into a massacre.
Many of them, only 2 of us. Not enough.
Fred Vance. I read about his trial. He was convicted on mighty slim evidence. Tonto, we'll give Fred Vance a chance to prove he's not a cattle rustler. Come on.
Welcome back to Draw Western Theater, and today we're talking about Lone Ranger stuff.
And since Wardell happened to kind of leave us, I think I'll kind of help myself to him.
That's not legal. That's not legal.
Seriously,
Ranger,
you're telling me something's
Ranger,
not legal?
Ranger.
It's not legal if the person left behind.
Well, you're both
I want
outlaws.
10%
Unless you don't, if you don't get caught, it's not illegal.
You're both outlaws, so
All right, so
you know.
let's talk about the Lone Ranger. You know, 1949, that'd be a great year. Why is that?
Because that's when the Lone Ranger started. But you know something was funny? He was only the Lone Ranger for 2 seasons. Clayton Moore was.
Yeah.
Did you know Clayton Moore started acting by suggestion in 38? So his friend suggested that he move to Hollywood. So then that's what he did.
But who replaced Clayton Moore as the Lone Ranger? And why?
Oh, because he was requesting money from the toys.
He was becoming too popular and putting
So-
his face on everything.
Yeah, and he was requesting money from the toys and merchandise.
And the actor's name who killed him was Hart, the last name.
And once they got rid of the Masked Man, it tanked.
You know, he was just not nearly as popular as Clayton Moore was, so he was brought back. You know, they used to do a lot more episodes of TV shows back then.
Yeah.
Even though the guy was in 1 season, how many episodes he filmed? 52. 52 episodes in 1 season. But then Clayton Moore came back, and what else happened? The original episodes were in black and white.
And they went into color.
It went into color, where everybody got to see that pretty little sky blue
Yeah.
Didn't he do
suit that's all over.
152 or 162?
164, I think it was, somewhere around there.
164? Yeah, somewhere around there.
And he became really, really big. Like I talked about before, wrestling and religious and the Lone Ranger were the biggest shows of that era.
Yes.
I don't watch the wrestling, and Lone Ranger. I don't remember much about the religious shows,
Yeah, I don't know.
but wrestling was big.
Yes, wrestling was very big.
But again, Clayton Moore seemed like he topped everybody. He was just became the face of everything. What was some of the commercials he did?
Cheerios.
Besides cereals, he also did commercials for cigarettes, and what was that one?
Automobiles, gasoline.
Gasoline,
Cheerios.
Aquazelva,
Pizza Pop
Yeah.
Tarts was my favorite.
pizza, Geno's Pizza Rolls.
Pizza rolls.
Yeah, where they used the cigarette commercial as well.
That's why
because
you guys are outlaws. You like pizza rolls.
both of them were actually using the same theme music, and the Lone Ranger appeared on it when they talked about using the theme song music from the Lone Ranger. He kind of
Chimed in and said, I
Came
need to
in.
talk to both of you fellas about that.
about the Lone Ranger thing. Well, let's get back to the show right now. We'll talk more about them in the next segment. We'll draw Western Theater.
I think I drink this for sure.
And I'm watching you.
Food's ready. You must be starved. Fred, no.
It's just a precaution, Mary. Maybe they won't even come. But if they do... 2 of them. Well, I'm ready for them this time. Get behind the wagon.
Hold your fire. We're friends.
I haven't got any friends.
Honey, he's masked. And that Indian.
They're not ranchers. They're part of Madden's gang.
We want to talk to you.
Don't come any closer, or this time I won't shoot over your heads.
He means it, Tonto. We'll use the possum trick.
Me savvy.
We're here to help you, Vance. We're coming in whether you like it or not.
Fred, you've killed them.
I warned him to stay back.
Sorry I had to do that, Fred.
All right, you got me. Go ahead. What are you waiting for?
Oh, Fred.
I told you, we are friends.
Friends don't wear masks.
Sometimes they do. Release him, Tonto. You can put away your gun. I'll explain.
Look here, I don't get this.
I've got a plan for rescuing Tom Patrick's boy before the Madden gang can ambush the ranchers who are now heading toward their hideout. But I'll need your help.
With every ranch in the country looking for my hide? Why should I help?
Because I believe you're an honest man. And one way to prove it is by going after those rustlers like any honest man would. Well, what do you say? Any sign of Tom Patrick and his ranchers yet, Tonto?
Not yet, Kimosabe.
You know, I reckon Patrick's not going to like the surprise one bit. He'll hate me even worse than he did after our run-in the other day.
He'll stop hating you soon enough, Fred, if you can deliver his son back to him.
You talk as if it was going to be easy. I've seen this Madden gang in action. I wouldn't be surprised if we were all taken prisoners. They're tough hombres.
We can be tough too, Fred. When we have to be.
Kimosabe, me hear horses.
Good. Now do just as I told you. Rein up and reach.
Hands off those guns.
Out of the saddle, all of you. Tonto, get their guns.
I thought you were on our side. I might have known you'd be in cahoots with the rustlers.
He's no rustler, Tom, or he wouldn't be helping me save your son. We've been trailing you for 2 days. Now we'll take over. Got their guns, Tonto?
Huh?
Keep them covered till we get back. Sorry to have to do this, Tom. But I figure my way is safer than yours.
What can 2 men do alone? Ride into Madden's hideout like they had an invite?
Maybe. Come on, Fred. Let's go. Fred, we'll take Scout along for Jim.
Good.
We got a long wait. Better sit down.
This is where we separate, Fred. Madden's camp is over there. You understand now what you're to do.
I understand, all right, but supposing something goes wrong?
We'll worry about that if it happens. Your job is to free Jim Patrick. I'll try to take care of the rest of the gang. Good luck, Fred.
Thanks.
I'm going to talk to the Patrick kid.
All right, masked man, that's far enough. Put up your hands.
What kind of a welcome is that? I've ridden a long way to find the Madden gang.
Nobody finds the Madden gang till they prove they're not on the side of the law.
I was working for the law. You think I'd come in here myself to capture the whole gang single-handed?
Well, I reckon that makes good sense. All right, stranger, you can ride in and talk it over with the boss.
Yeah.
But don't forget, I've got you covered all the way.
Just about noon, Patrick. Looks like your old man don't value your hide too much, or he'd have turned Madden loose and he'd be here by now.
I hope he never lets him loose.
Hey, Nolan! Somebody's coming. I'll see who it is. You stay here, Sam. Keep your hands up, stranger. But you know you're trespassing on private property?
Isn't that what the Madden gang specializes in? Trespassing on other people's property?
Just what do you mean by that, mister?
Well, what's good for the Madden gang? It's good enough for me.
Oh, that's why you're wearing the mask. Thinking about joining up with us, eh?
I've been trying to catch up with you for a long time.
Well, climb down, but don't try anything funny.
Sure.
It's a mighty fine horse you got there. You wouldn't want to tell me where you got him, would you?
No more than you'd want to tell me where you got yours.
You're all right, stranger. Come on over by the fire.
Thanks. Howdy.
Sit down. Take on some grub.
I wonder if that is Madden. Because if it ain't, you better start saying your prayers, Patrick. You just got a couple of minutes left.
You haven't got much time left either. Someday they'll catch up with you polecats.
Polecats, huh? I'll show you who the polecat.
Boss is not here. Rocky, take care of the Patrick kid.
Sure thing, Jake. Wished you'd have plugged him long ago.
Looks like we'll have to go after Madden ourselves. Are you with us, stranger?
Sure. I'd like nothing better than going after Pete Madden. Mind if I look at my horse first?
No, go ahead.
Hey, boss.
Yeah?
Somebody's plugged Sam and got the boy away.
What's that? If Sam go well, that may be your son, Jim. Take gun now. Go after Madden gang. Your horse is fresh. There's tired.
Jim. I was afraid I'd never see you alive again.
You wouldn't have, Dad, if it hadn't been for the masked man and Fred Vance.
Fred, look.
You won't need that, Fred. We're proud to have you as a neighbor.
And if you'd let us, we'd like to help you finish your cabin.
Come on, boys, let's get to work.
Let's go.
There you go. We're glad to help. We ought to do this right.
We have work to do elsewhere, Tonto. Gee, Mary, it looks like we're going to have a home at last. And friends, like the Patricks here. And Tonto and the Lone Ranger.
Welcome back to the Raw Wrestling Theater. We are here talking today about the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger. There's a lot to talk about him. Clayton Moore was so
Well, howdy, folks.
What's
You know
going
what?
on here?
I just ran to Wardell. He told me you guys were talking about Clayton Moore and the Lone Ranger.
Yep.
So I got something I thought you might find interesting, folks.
Is that what I think it is?
Yes, this is an
Hold on,
exact
hold
replica of Clayton Moore's Lone Ranger belt. Let's clear off some room here. Let me set this thing down. It weighs a ton.
Yeah, with the outlaws we got here, we got too much valuable stuff.
Yep, this was made by D&D. Hold that for me there, Sheriff Abel. This was made by D&D Leather Works, and it is the closest replica you can get to Clayton Moore's belt. They hand make it. They put every stud exactly where the Ranger's guns were.
Imagine jumping up on a horse with that one.
Can you imagine? I mean, this thing with all the rig must weigh like 20 pounds.
Yeah, at least.
But it is an incredible job that D&D Leather did. D&D Leather Works. Now, there's something else even more special about this too. Can you see that really well, folks? Every little detail, exactly as Clayton Moore wore it. But there's also something else that's kind of interesting here. Look at this. Look at that, Bob.
The silver bullets come out?
Well, here, take it around. Not just any silver bullets. These came from a man named Dusty, who made them for Pleasant Valley Saddlery. And he had the honor of actually making what everybody in the country considers the best silver bullets for the Lone Ranger that are made. If you're a Lone Ranger reenactor or you dressed up, these are the best, closest to the silver bullets for Clayton Moore that you can buy. But
I don't think
I thought you guys might get a kick out of them. Everything about it is authentic, right down to the buckles and the bullets.
How accurate are the Colts?
Colts are pretty accurate.
To what he carried.
Very, very accurate. This is a Colt with a pearl handle. This one I actually had to replace one of the handles because it broke. But it is a Colt.
Almost broke again.
Like that. And they would have been very close to what Clayton Moore would have carried.
Colt Peacemaker.
The Peacemaker has a pretty interesting story that we've already done.
I made sure that they're unloaded before I brought them out here to show you all. Safety first, folks.
What was the...
But I thought y'all might enjoy that.
What was the saying? God created man, Sam Colt made him equal.
Made him equal. Because like you say, can you imagine jumping on silver with that much hardware on? They did it all the time.
Well, that brought up something that we was talking about earlier, where he was an acrobat as a child.
Oh, yes.
That probably made that easy for him.
For him, I'm sure he got used to wearing them. You know, a lot of the heroes of those early serials and things like that, like Lash LaRue.
Lash LaRue, which we talked about
Hopalong,
before.
Cassidy, they all wore the very ornate gun belts like this. Now you can't hardly find them. That's why I was so pleased when I was able to find that D&D actually did a Lone Ranger gun belt. And I have this specially made for us, and I'm very, very proud to have it. But I thought you all might get a kick of that. I'll let you get back to your show.
No, you can leave that here with us.
Oh, no, I think
Please, we like
I don't think that'd be a good idea. We have somebody behind them guns.
Wardell told me not to leave this bar without
Can you
his
go get Ranger? He broke
Clayton
the law.
Moore bullet.
Don't be a snitch.
He broke the law.
Well, okay.
He stole money from
You
Wardell.
all have fun watching the show.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, we had our new face in town eyeing them guns pretty good. I'm kind of glad he got them out of here.
What's wrong? You had to get a little nervous for him up there, Sheriff?
Sense a little tension in the air. Well, anyway, let's get back to the show. Right here on Draw Western Theater, talking about the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
This is a story of one of the most mysterious characters to appear in the early days of the West. He was a fabulous individual. A man whose presence brought fear to the lawless and hope to those who wanted to make this frontier land their home. He was known as the Lone Ranger. When the pioneers settled in the West, bringing civilization and the roots of progress to the barren plains, the Indian chiefs sent their braves out on the warpath to burn the settlements and kill those who pushed the wagon trains forward, until the great white father in Washington sent his soldiers to make peace with the Indians. The most warlike of the chiefs was Lame Bear. Finally, even he had smoked the pipe of peace with the army. The white men were ordered to keep out of Lame Bear's territory. Here is the war horse Black Cloud, fiery veteran of 100 campaigns, the most famous horse between our coasts.
Black Cloud, Chief Lame Bear's war horse. After the battle Lame Bear put up against the army, he's just about the most publicized horse in the country. What an act I could build around that animal. But do you think you can buy him for me, Madrigal?
Money will buy anything, Barlam. Especially that kind of money.
5,000. That's for Lame Bear. And another 5 for you when you deliver Black Cloud to me in St. Louis.
It's a deal.
Good.
Come on, Shorty, we're going to be busy.
Good luck, Madrigal.
I make my own luck, Barlam. $10,000. Pretty good pay for delivering a horse, eh?
Yeah, but 5,000 of it's for Lame Bear.
Yeah? More ways of getting a horse than paying for it. You ought to know that.
Hide hunters, Tonto. If they're after buffalo, they're heading for trouble. You know, this territory is reserved to Chief Lame Bear, and Lame Bear won't stand for trespassers. Come on, Tonto. We'd better warn them.
What's the matter?
We've got visitors.
Oh, one's a redskin and the other's masked. Now, what in the blazer...
Take it easy. This is no hold-up, or they wouldn't show themselves. Maybe they want some grub. Remember to keep your mouth shut about what we're after. If word gets to Lame Bear that we're after Black Cloud, we're going to be out of luck.
Don't worry, Matt. We don't talk.
Howdy.
Hello. Hide hunters, eh?
That's right. Hide hunters. What's up? Need some grub? What's the mask for?
The mask is my business, and we're not after food. You're Matt Madrigal, aren't you?
That's right. How'd you know?
Aren't many hide hunters left. Recognize you from your description. Tonto and I want to warn you that you're trespassing on territory reserved to Chief Lame Bear. You entered it when you crossed the green. If you know it's healthy, you'll turn back.
Maybe we don't care about our health. And if we don't, who's going to spoil it for us?
Lame Bear will. He'll try to anyhow. And maybe the Army. The Army wants to keep peace in this section.
All right, you warned us. Thanks.
I take it you're not turning back, then.
What do you think?
I think you're looking for trouble.
That's our right, isn't it?
You'll find it. Montano, these gentlemen are looking for trouble. We're wasting their time. And you may be wasting your scalps.
I sure put a burr in his tail. All right, Beggs, whip up the horses. Like the masked man said, we're wasting time.
You'd better ride to the fort, Tonto. Ask Colonel Graves for a detachment to turn them back.
Me do. If them after Buffalo, Lame Bear get plenty mad.
Yes, and start on the warpath. He's only looking for an excuse to fight these days. You go to the fort. I'll ride to Lazat's trading post and see that Lame Bear learns about this in the right way. Get going, Tonto. I'll pick up your trail later.
Me go now.
Chief Lame Bear's son and a trusted brave made camp. The boy was pleased with the truce between his father and the white men. He went about his work tending the fire, unaware of the danger that lurked near, very near.
Come on.
Then suddenly his companion had a feeling that they were being watched. But he saw no one.
You and Tom go after Black Cloud. Sam and I'll take care of the Redskins. Beggs, you follow me. We'll make a circle and come in behind them.
There's one redskin so good, he's plumb wholesome.
We'll get this one over your saddle. I'll go back and see how the boys made out with the horse.
You want this one for?
He may come in handy for a hostage if we need him. He's Chief Lame Bear's son. Get Black Cloud tied up?
Yeah, he sure put up a fight. Quite a job.
And the Indian?
Them just tied him and thrown him in the wagon.
Good. Now, our job is to get back to the railroad as soon as we can. Let's get going.
Hey, give me the lift.
The wounded Indian boy struggles to reach his horse to report to Chief Lame Bear with a message that will touch off the fires of war. Nestled among barren mountains in Indian territory is the Burnt Hills trading post, to which the Lone Ranger has ridden to talk to Chief Lame Bear.
Man with mask, speak with straight tongue. Lame Bear, do nothing now.
I don't know how you got him to promise to let the army handle Madrigal, but you did. It's trouble. Madrigo made off with Lambert's son and his war horse. Lambert's raging. We got to get out of here.
You're right, Lazat. You get to your horse. I'll cover you in case of trouble. We've outrun them, Lazat.
They'll go back to their village. And what you want to bet? In another hour, they're on their war path.
Yes, and ready to kill every white man who gets in the way. We'll have to warn the army.
Quickest way to the fort is through that saddle.
But the quickest way to the army is to follow on Madrigo's trail. Tonto is to get a detachment of soldiers who turn them back. We'll head off this way. On Silver.
I'm Lieutenant Bannister. You're trespassing on territory reserved to Lame Bear's tribe. I've come to order you back.
You're a little late, aren't you, Lieutenant? I've already turned back. Turned back when him and that masked partner of his told us to. First I knew we'd been trespassing.
You're a hide hunter, aren't you?
That's right.
What have you got in that wagon?
Take a look for yourself.
What are those men doing over there?
Take a look for yourself. One of our horses is bogged down.
Indian, you're wasting my time. That Black Cloud, that Lame Bear's war horse.
What do you want to do with him, boss? Take him and get White Eagle out of the brush. Throw them both in the wagon. And get Black Cloud and tie him on behind.
We hadn't have seen them soldiers coming when we did. We'd have been prisoners by now, and they'd have been taking us back to the fort. You're lucky, Matt.
Uh-huh. I told you I make my own luck. I don't like it, Lazat. This is where Madrigo camped. The cavalry were here and left without taking him into custody. His trail goes on. The cavalry went back. He's fooled them some way.
We'll have to ride to the fort, after all.
No, I'm going after Madrigo. You go to the fort. Yes.
Lame Bear will come through these hills, Colonel Graves. If we station our regiment right about here... No, I won't do that. A show of force won't settle this. You see, according to Lazat's story, Lame Bear is in the right. I'm going to talk to him. Talk to him? Yes, under the protection of the white flag. A parley. I know Lame Bear. He's been my friend. And the talk might do what fighting never will do. You'll come with me, Bannister. You too, Lazard, if you feel up to it.
All right, Colonel. I can risk it if you can.
Lame Bear's in there. I can tell the signs. Took to cover when they saw us coming.
Lame Bear, afraid of 3 men? It's a trap, sir.
Maybe. Well, shall we go on?
We're fools, sir. We ought to get out of here. We're not back.
Nonsense. Pull yourself together. We're only... Anything I can do for you, Lazard?
I sure could use a drink of water if you had it.
Where's Biggs?
He's back there guarding the pass.
What's the matter with him? The Indian death chant. I've heard it before. I reckon he figures he's going to die.
Well, he figures right. Hey, that's no death chant. I savvy that lingo. He's signaling somebody.
No more of that, Injun. Reach. Pull out your gun and shoot at the sky. Now.
I beg. Get up there, all of you, and see what's up. Maybe a trick. Fast, Tonto.
Kimasabi.
All right, heist him. You're a dead man. Howdy, friend. Glad you dropped by. Moving. The hands behind. Not a very good tie, but it'll do till the boys get here. One more turn to make sure. There, I will hold you. Good. Boys are coming back. Tonto, the knife.
Here, get behind the wagon.
You probably went to sleep.
I wasn't. Always.
Hey, man.
Raise your hands. I'll drop your guns. You. Get over there.
shot.
I'm out too.
We'd better get out.
Get out? Where to, sir?
I think I saw our horses yonder in the gully. Maybe we can make it to them.
Carrying him?
Of course.
We haven't got a chance.
That's right. But I'd rather be out in the open when we haven't a chance. So let's try it. Give me a hand with it. White Eagle, there's your father. Get to him, quick!
We were told you were headed this way. We came as soon as we could.
And just in time.
Here, I want to show you something. Grigo and Company. You've met these fellows before.
Yes, I have, and I'm glad to meet them again.
I thought you would be, Lieutenant. Colonel, you should be out of trouble once White Eagle has talked to his father. In fact, I think you're out of trouble right now.
Thank you, friend. We owe you our lives. I want you to understand that, Lame Bear. If you behave yourself, no more trouble from Washington. But if you don't, I'll make plenty of trouble. You savvy that?
Lame Bear, savvy.
There's the man who should get the credit for this, my friend.
He fine fella. Big warrior. What him name?
No one knows. I can only tell you that most people call him the Lone Ranger.
The Wild West. Good guys, bad guys, and everything in between. There's a place where you can see the best of the West. Right here on WBON, Richmond's very own Channel 9. Saturday night at 8 p.m. Join us.
The steady staccato of the telegraph key clicked out an unbelievable message of horror. The last testament of a dying town. It was being destroyed by a fire dragon.
Silver.
Tylerville. Let's go, Tonto. Kimosabe.
Oh.
Me get medicine kit.
No, Tonto. Nothing will help now. The man painfully recalled the fiery Holocaust. A ransom was demanded for the town's safety, and its refusal was Tylerville's doom. Dragon.
We can do no more, Kimosabe.
One thing more, Tonto. Avenge Tylerville and bring its killers to justice. Let's go.
Kimosabe, look. Strange tracks.
Strange, yet somehow familiar, Tonto.
Maybe trail of dragon.
The answer will be found at the end of these tracks. Oh, big fellow. Tonto, that sounds like gunfire.
It nearby, Kimosabe.
Let's ride. Easy, Silver. This is it, Tonto. Back, Tonto. We'll circle and attack.
People of Prairie Well, this is your last chance.
No ransom. We'll fight.
Then you will die.
Rifle fire from Dragon.
That is a man-made creature of destruction, Tonto. Take cover in those rocks. I'll try to get closer.
Get him up, Scout.
Mud. Just what I need. This clay should compress the gunpowder. Enough to make a powerful hand bomb. Tonto, cover me!
Kimosabe, no!
Why, that's an armor-plated tractor.
You and the dragon, surrender! It's all over!
Surrender? Full steam! Destroy him!
Only one chance. It worked before. Maybe again.
I've got to get that driver.
Good. Kimosabe stop Dragon. Now me have chance to finish job.
Good work, Tonto. Drop that gun. Reach, or my next shot will be fatal. We're going back into town. And your victims will be your judges. You're finished, Dragon.
Yes, I'm finished. But so are you.
On your feet.
My mechanical dragon withstood bullets, fire, everything. But you, masked man, you're indestructible.
No man is indestructible. Only man's laws protecting lives and property from evil, twisted men like yourself.
I'll kill you.
Act like mad dog. Treat like mad dog.
Tie him good, Tonto. I'll get the others.
Looks like my job's already been done. All tied up in neat parcels and ready for delivery. To prison.
Impossible. The mighty dragon defeated by just one man.
That wasn't just one man. That was the Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Draw Western Theater. We're continuing our talking about Clayton Moore, the man who brought the Lone Ranger to life. What kind of man was he? Truthful. Is that not just the Lone Ranger? What kind of man was Clayton Moore?
He was dedicated to the character, the role as the Lone Ranger.
Yes.
He was it was one of his most successful heartfelt roles. He said himself that he would literally play the role for the rest of his life.
He turned into Lone Ranger in real life.
I mean, he was the Lone Ranger, but he was also Clayton Moore. What did everybody say about Clayton Moore as the person himself?
His daughter.
His daughter, Dawn. What did she say about it?
Oh, she brought up the most touching moments in his career when there were so many fan letters, and she mentioned during a convention, was it, that his role as Lone Ranger brought on the inspiration for thousands who would dedicate their careers to private service to their community, such as firefighters, police officers, and teachers alike, because they all wanted to share the same legacy, justice.
So you're talking about something that's more and goes beyond more than a TV show, especially with who?
Jay Silverheels. Let's talk about him for a second. Does anybody know what he done besides his TV shows? He had a big impact on something that a lot of people do not recognize. Do you know what that was?
Indians actually playing Indians.
Yeah, because you look at a lot of the older TV shows, especially the Indians in them, you'll notice that they are actually white man painted red.
Or sometimes they use Spanish people.
Yeah.
Over in the
Italians.
Italians, yeah, for the spaghetti westerns, all different kinds.
Where is spaghetti raisins came from? Italian.
Yeah, but anyway, you're exactly right about him bringing a breakthrough character. But not only was it the fact that an Indian was playing Indian, what else was there about him in that show? The fact that they were equals.
Yeah, they never were different with each other.
He always had actually more roles than the actual Lone Ranger himself.
Yeah, they shared basically star building, and he treated Tonto was his equal. They were the best of friends. Like, well, what does Kimosabe mean when we're talking about best friends?
Trusted friends.
Trusted friends, but it has been given a lot of different names. In one movie, it was Trusted Scout.
Or Friendly Scout.
Friendly Scout, or even Best Friend. So there's kind of a little bit of a controversy about exactly what Kimosabe means. But whatever it meant the world to Tonto. It meant they were the best friends because he had actually saved Tonto's life as kids.
Yes.
Well, see, that's why the term sidekick, his faithful sidekick, that should have never been actually used because there was no sidekick there.
No.
Yeah.
He was as much a hero as the Lone Ranger.
They were partners.
Partners, exactly.
Partner in arms.
Yeah, do you know what Tonto means? It means foolish, stupid, dumb.
But they had to, well, that was in
Spanish.
That was
in
in
Spanish.
That's why when they went overseas, they actually changed the name to Toro, which actually means bull.
But Silverheels helped bring that into the Lone Ranger.
And he was treated well by the Lone Ranger. I think you know something about that, don't you?
He was. So there was one day on set, they didn't have changing rooms, so they'd be changing behind bushes, trees, and one day, Jay just went on top of the hill, took his horse, and then a few minutes later, the Lone Ranger just went up on the hill with Jay and said, "Jay, what are you doing? You're gonna get fired." And Jay said, "I'm not going down till they give us changing rooms." So he was just sitting there, and then he said, "They're not gonna do production without us because we're the main characters." So, and then guess who stayed up there for the rest of the day? The Lone Ranger. So they couldn't do it without the Lone Ranger or Tonto. So Silver too stayed up there. And then the next day, guess what was on set? Changing rooms.
And that shows you the kind of relationship that he and Jay Silverheels had. They had a real friendship, and it showed in the filming.
Yes.
Speaking of filming, let's go ahead and get back here to the Lone Ranger and see if we can find out some more about him and enjoy the Lone Ranger here on Draw Western Theater.
tribe of spirit warriors ride each night. Attack all villages in flatlands. Drive Comanche, Kiowa from hunting grounds and hills rich with gold.
Gold? Ghost Tribe only attack Indian lands under new treaty? Call warriors together. Spirit warriors feel Kiowa arrows.
No, Tonto. Kiowa's brave, but not fight ghosts.
Listen, many riders come.
Ghost Tribe, they come!
Do not leave like others! Now you join ranks of the dead!
Spirit warrior not right again. Now we learn truth about Ghost Tribe.
Ghost Tribe destroy village. Almost kill you. Now, Kiowas go north.
No, friend. Kiowa stay. Look, wooden lance. Ghosts not need weapon against men. I follow Ghost Tribe, if necessary, to grave. Watch for fire in sky, then attack.
You signal. Kiowa fight.
Fly, Tucker! On scout! Ghost Tribe ride around stream. Head for Comanche Flats burial grounds. Faster, Scout. Ghost Tribe gone. As if spirit warriors returned to grave. Maybe I stay near in case dead rise again.
Spirit warriors! Leave your graves and let's ride!
Stop, false spirit warriors! You dishonor brave dead!
A dead warrior! He's come alive! It's a trick! Look! It's that engine we fought last night! Get him!
Lucky ghosts carry shields. Stop spear. Maybe stop killer too.
A fire arrow! Maybe it's a signal to the Kiowas.
Back to our grave?
Yeah, and fast!
Dry grass make fire wall. That stopped ghosts.
Kiowas! They're coming for us! We're trapped!
Throw down weapons. You live. Resist. Kiowas send you to join real spirits.
We give up!
Leader escaped a tunnel. Only one way. Over fire.
Now let's clean off this whitewash and get out of here!
You get out all right to military prison.
It's him! Now that we ain't spirit warriors no more, we can use guns. Let him have it, Jed.
He's gonna look like a sieve.
Try out shooting me, Injun. No more! No more!
Then talk. Why attack peaceful tribes as spirit warriors?
The only way we could get gold out of Injun territory was to scare the tribes away. Then the land would be up for grabs. We'd be safe from the Injuns and the army.
Kiowas, here's spirit warriors' leader. Hold prisoner till army come.
It shall be done. We owe much thanks, Tonto. You show us. Only thing we have to fear, our own fears.
Victims of fear soon forget, but fear makers, they not forget for lifetime in prison.
Well, welcome back to Draw Western Theater and the Lone Ranger. I think you got something for us here, don't you?
Yes, I do. I have tickets to Corriganville. Ray Crash Corriganville for families to come watch movies being made. And you don't even see that anymore. You never did till Corriganville.
Didn't the Lone Ranger film a couple seasons there?
The last 2 seasons they filmed there. And actually, when Corriganville went out, the Lone Ranger bought it. So this, in a way, has to do with the Lone Ranger and a bunch of movies. But sadly, Corriganville got torn down.
I've never seen that piece of it was right there.
You know how Crash got his nickname?
He crashed there too.
He was a stuntman.
Well, yeah.
He used to crash into everything. I think Abel's got something for us too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I got something kind of interesting here. It's actually a page from the old comic book series. What makes it interesting is, just a page out of comics not really valuable. It's who signed it. Clayton Moore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is an actual Clayton Moore signature.
Oh, that's a beautiful John Hancock right there.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't only a great actor, the man could write. That's for sure.
Here you go, sir. I'll let you have a look at that.
There's a lot of valuable stuff here with a lot of kind of shady characters.
Yes, we also have the Lone Ranger Silver Anniversary issue, which is a very, very rare, valuable comic book. It's the Lone Ranger's life story. So if you don't like movies, don't like sitting around, but you like reading, you can still get the story of the Lone Ranger in a book.
Wow.
Definitely kind of cool.
Yeah. Lone Ranger Clayton Moore was the most popular one imaginable. He was the Lone Ranger. Others have tried. All have failed. The Lone Ranger is Clayton Moore himself.
Miserably failed.
Miserably failed. But I didn't want to go there. I wanted to be mean to them. They've tried, but they haven't been able to duplicate it. But we'll talk more about that in other upcoming episodes, because there's a lot more to talk about the Lone Ranger. Well, I want to thank all you people here for watching us on Draw Western Theater today. We looked at the Lone Ranger. Like I said, there's a lot more to cover. We haven't gone over hardly any of it. But I don't trust these two. Let's put it that way. Something's going on, and I'm going to find out what it is. I'm going to play detective. Anyway, we'll leave it to you. What do you got to say about it?
Hi-yo, Silver away!
Careful.